Well, it is Wednesday, June 24th, 2026, and welcome to our anxiety and depression support stream. We are wrapping up this series that I called Speak from the Heart. That's what I call this series. But I got the inspiration from a song message. And the song is called Unless You Speak From Your Heart. Y'all, I'm getting these titles right tonight. Unless You Speak From Your Heart is the song. The band is called Porcelain Raft. And this is actually how this series came to me this month. No surprise there. I always get song messages. And it was the inspiration for this teaching, which we are wrapping up tonight with reclaiming my voice, and specifically my heart's voice. So that is what we're going to get into tonight. And it's also going to be a very spirit-led teaching. I did start writing a little while ago, but I feel like tonight's just going to be one of those organic teachings. But how are y'all doing? How is June wrapping up for you guys? You guys, I will share this next week, but I'm going to say this. My June is wrapping up in a very unexpected way. I did not see, I guess I did get a little bit of a heads up. In my time with the Lord, I had some kind of guidance, but I didn't really see it playing out the way it did. So I did have a big surprise this month, which I will share next week. So y'all are just going to have to be in suspense and wait. Because if I've learned anything, it is to not announce something before it is in fruition. And certainly not, I'm kind of private most of the time anyways, but especially when God is doing something major in your life, it's very important to move in silence, keep it hidden until the appointed time. So that is what I'm doing. But yes, you might find that there were some unexpected surprises. Oh, you guys, I forgot. Hold on. I forgot that when I used my headphones, because I was listening to the song right before we started. So, but yes, when I use the headphones, it makes crackling sounds. So I better take them off. But yes, you might find that this month surprised you as well, or maybe it's going to surprise you this week. But that is the season we are in. A wonderful new dimension I've been sharing. How's everybody doing? Welcome everybody coming to the live stream and into the chat. My name is Ruby. If you're new here, this is our anxiety and depression support stream. We are wrapping a series. Tonight I'm going to teach about reclaiming your heart's voice. I feel like this is going to be a powerful stream, you guys. If you're here, it is by divine appointment and alignment. There is something your heart needs to hear, or maybe it needs to speak. So let's get started. If I'm really to speak from my heart, I must come to the place within myself where I truly own my own voice. Okay, take this in for a second, because we don't often think about this. Do you own your own voice right now? Some of us don't realize that we are in a space where I'm still in captivity to others. How others think of me, how others see me, how others treat me. That's crazy. And the problem with this is that if I'm at the mercy of other people or other people's opinion of me, my voice was already starting to act up right before. So this is another confirmation for me, you guys. This happens to me a lot. I feel like I'm getting attacked in my voice because I'm about to share something that's gonna break through a lot of chains. But that's okay. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. But some of us have been through a lot of unimaginable things, and we have um, knowingly or unknowingly surrendered parts of ourselves for the purpose of being loved or feeling loved. Because at the core, this is what it comes down to. And I just shared about this on Monday, I believe. I was talking about love. If I have a lot of unhealed trauma within myself, whether I recognize the roots or not, I will find myself, as I shared in Monday's live stream, at the mercy of others and how they feel about me and how they think about me. And if I'm a toxic empath or in the space of toxic empathy, I will do whatever it takes to please another person, to maintain a relationship, even if it's stealing my voice, if it's stealing my life, my personality, my joy, my peace, my purpose. This is a red flag that I am still operating in my unhealed space of self. And what I'm hoping tonight is that for those of us that are still here, that you hear something tonight that's just going to resonate. It's going to speak to your heart. It's going to release you from whatever is keeping you captive. Some of you are in toxic relationships right now. Some of you have toxic connections with friends or family, people that, and I'm telling you, when you come to this revelation for yourself, when you start to realize that I have been taken advantage of by this person or these people, or worse, you've been betrayed by people that you trusted, people that you gave your entire heart to, and but having this space of awakening, and it is a spiritual awakening first. You have to see it spiritually, but it affects your heart. It affects your soul realm. So when this happens for you and to you, and I pray that it does, if it hasn't yet, um, you begin to shift into recovery. You start to see that you're worth everything. You're worth everything. And first, I would encourage you to receive this truth from God Himself, because that is eternal um, essence and energy that pours into yourself, that strengthens yourself. And once you have it there, then you begin to see things as they really are in your earthly relationships. You start to see how you've been, um, again, subconsciously or consciously deceived by those around you. And again, some of these people that are uh, maybe taking from you, they're unhealed as well, but they're on the other end of the spectrum, which again I shared Monday. They're on the narcissistic, toxic narcissist side. where they really don't have empathy. The interesting thing is that we're all reaching for the same thing. We all want to be loved, and we all want to learn. Well, we don't all want to learn, but the hope is that we all want to learn how to love in the truest way. But on the narcissistic end of the spectrum, you are, those of you that are on this end of the spectrum, you learned the same. You learned that your voice maybe wasn't heard, whether it was in childhood or later in life. But typically it is in your childhood that this happens. But you learned instead that I can't show my feelings. If I do, then I will get in trouble. Or you have this connection where showing emotion is rewarded in a negative way. And for narcissists, what they do instead is they push down those emotions, maybe even disassociate from those emotions because it is unsafe to feel feelings. Because if I do, it's too much. So this is why a lot, and maybe a lot of you are actually avoidant attachment. So you don't like having discussions. You don't like when your partner or somebody in your family or whatever it is, when they bring up issues, you can't stand it. You just want to leave. You want to flee. You don't want to deal with it. Now, on the empathic side, again, we were shown at a young age that speaking up, sharing how we felt, and it could be as simple as, you fell down and scraped your knee, and your guardians, whether it was your parents or somebody that you looked up to, uh, got angry at you or made you feel like having a reaction to your own pain was something that was a negative. It was something bad. So you learned, if I share that emotion, I will not be loved. I will not be embraced. And so you do the opposite as an empath. You actually pursue relationship instead of avoiding it for the purpose of having the fulfillment of feeling loved. Okay? Whereas, as I say, on the narcissistic side, it's the opposite. You actually run away from your feelings to be more in control. But wherever you are tonight, my hope is that you can learn to get on the harmonious middle ground of this trajectory and learn that you are worth love. You are worth the energy and the effort. And I'm sorry that you were ever told otherwise. This is why we're learning this. This is why I do what I do, actually, to help you find those spaces within yourself to recover and heal. But love is true, love is real, and it comes firstly from God because He is love, as I was sharing on the last live stream. And I'm telling you, when you have this revelation, your whole world is going to change if it hasn't already, because you learn what true love is and what it isn't. You're able to recognize counterfeit because you know the real now, and there's no benchmark. Once you know true love, there's no comparison. So those of us that have been through a lot, um, I invite you, as I often do, if you feel like you're in a space where you're struggling to kind of sift through some of these things, I invite you to set up a one-to-one with me, and we can talk and see what some of your roots are so that you can learn your own worth and value, which you have, and it is God given, it is inherited, so you can't lose it. This is where we get stuck in these types of relationships where we're looking for this validation in others. And again, it could be romantic, it could be a friendship, it could be family, whatever it is for you. The reason you're searching for this validation, and that's the word I want to use actually, is because there is still something within you that hasn't been healed. You're searching for connection because that part of you hasn't been filled with the true love that you're seeking and that you need. This is to my empaths, my fellow empaths. You pursue relationship. Many empaths are also, I would say, anxiously attached. Okay, there's different types of, but I'm going to use the general ones to make it simplistic, as I do for these teachings. I make them as general as I can and yet get into as much as I can. But if we're doing one-to-one sessions, then we'd go very deep into this, and I would help you very, very, very much get into everything. Hi, how's it going tonight, everybody? Good to see you all. So empaths, anxiously attached, you pursue relationship and connection when you are wounded. So if I'm gonna describe this. If this sounds like you, then this is you. You get into an argument with someone, or maybe it's not even an argument. Maybe you're just trying to express how you feel, but the other person maybe is not giving you space to express. And for now, I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not even going to get into a specific type of dialogue because there's different types. You can express in a healthy way, you can express in a calm way, you can express in a respectful way, and you could still have somebody on the other end who is dismissive, avoidant, maybe critical. Maybe every time you express something, they say, there you go again. You're always complaining. You're always upset. You're always this, okay? This is a critical spirit. In other words, they don't give you space to allow yourself to share how you feel. Whether or not you're being overdramatic or, you know, whiny, whatever they want to call it, you should have the freedom to express how you feel to the person that you are connected to, whether it's a family member, a friend, a partner. But if the other end is not allowing that for you, this does damage. Why? Because you're expressing to someone that you care about, someone that you love, and someone that you hope is going to receive you in your vulnerability. Okay? So, again, this comes from my childhood trauma. I was not able to do this as a kid. For whatever reason, um, so I learned, or maybe even I was rewarded when I was obedient. Maybe when I try to express how I feel and I learned I can't do that, but if I do this, then I'll win their approval. Maybe you had a parent who was very performance based love. You learned this very young. Maybe your parent or parents didn't esteem you or support you or give you that affirmation unless you did what you were told. Unless you obeyed and did things the way you were told, you weren't given that space. So we all have different stories, and this is why, like, there's so many different scenarios that we can get into. But what I want to share really is that learning this about yourself is going to help you really change your trajectory when it comes to your recovery. So there's no right or wrong, empath or narcissist. You learned because of how you were trained as a child, firstly. And so we carry this as long as we are unhealed. We will carry this into all relationships that we're in. But the hope is that I get to the space where I break the toxic cycle in my own life, because that is going to pass on to others that are connected to me. So, where are you tonight? Do you feel, or I should say, where do you feel you're at when it comes to truly owning your own voice, your heart's voice? Does your heart feel secure and safe and loved? Or does it feel distant from you? Does it feel like it's somebody else's, where you don't, you know, wherever you are, this is important to honor. But my hope is, with all these teachings that I've been sharing this month, is that you know the truth, that your heart is gold. It is spiritual gold, and it is yours. And you deserve the truest love. You deserve someone who honors you and cares for you unconditionally. And I wish that for you, and I want that for all of you. Anybody have any questions or want to share anything tonight? This is actually our final in the series. I think Monday I have one more for our series for June, because there's one more Monday in June. But those of you interested, I am teaching on what I called second sight, and I have one more, and we are going to talk about the heart. So might be a good live stream for you guys if you're still interested in learning a little bit more. But hi to everybody. I'm good to see all of you. What else do I want to share? I'm not going to get into it tonight, y'all, but I am going to teach on kingdom marriage. I get so giddy when I start talking about it, because there's a reason that I haven't taught on it yet. There's a reason, because God is showing me a lot right now I'm also in a place where I'm in recovery too from a lot of toxicity, and I'm yeah. So I feel we're getting close. I don't know exactly when, but it's coming. I feel like it's very, very close where I'm going to start teaching on this. But for those of you that are called to kingdom marriage, this is different than earthly marriage. Um, God has somebody that He has chosen for you for His kingdom purpose. It's so much bigger, although I do believe that it is because it's divine love. I feel like God will put His heart in the person that He created for you. And you have to understand the heart of God too. This is where that paradigm shift happens, because my perspective of love comes from my revelation of love, and how I live and flow in love comes from that. So if I'm still in a broken consciousness when it comes to love, then I'm not healed yet. I'm not ready. So I need to learn true love, which again comes from God. And when I have that revelation and pouring into my spirit and I begin to heal, then again I begin to recognize counterfeit love. So my encouragement to you, however, if you feel like you're in a space where you're not really seeing what God has promised, but He has promised, then just be patient, because God will do what He's promised. And follow His lead, follow His guidance, and let Him do what no man or woman can do. And trust Him. Trust Him. But yeah, you guys, I love love. I love talking about love. I am a love advocate, and I believe in true love. And yes, I am very much like a nerd when it comes to romance and fairy tales. So I can't wait to teach you guys on that. But tonight, what I want to leave with you is your heart is beautiful, and it deserves the best. It deserves your dream. And I pray that for you. I wish that for you, especially if you feel like God has called you to this. He will bring it to you in His divine timing. And just let Him do it. Just trust Him. Trust the process. Don't force. Don't rush. Just let Him do it. And He's going to do it. So anyways, with that said, I'm going to say good night. I will be back. You guys, okay. I'm planning to come on Friday. But Friday's kind of a big day for me, so without saying too much, if I can't come back Friday, I will say hello over the weekend. Okay, this is my promise to y'all. If I can't commit to our Friday live stream, which is our last day's live stream, which we don't have a teaching this month still, then I'll say hello over the weekend. I'll just pop up on live and say hello. And then maybe perhaps then I'm going to make my formal announcement. But until then, I love y'all. I hope you're well. Sorry so late tonight, but I had to, again, I had to get some stuff ready for this weekend. So, but I hope you heard something tonight to bless you and encourage you, or give you courage and strength to change direction for the better, and let God do this new thing in your life, this new season. Because it's time, and you deserve it. You deserve the very best. And I pray that for all of us. Okay, love y'all. I'll see you next time. Bye.